poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another pilot for another indie animated show right here on YouTube. So I'm going to start this video off by saying you can go watch this right now. There is 7 episodes available and the 8th one coming out later this year. The show is called Murder Drones, and we're just going to be taking a look at the pilot right now, but definitely go support this show. It is made by the same person that made Amazing Digital Circus, which we have also looked at on the channel, but I am so excited to watch the rest of this series because this sort of pilot was absolutely banging. So let's get into the story. So we have an angsty teen called Uzui who doesn't want to be trapped in this bunker anymore. She wants to go out and see the world. She wants to fight back against these murder drones. Hey ho, what you know is the title of the series. And she tricks her dad, who made the doors, to let her go outside. She comes into contact with En. She breaks his mind and makes him rebel. And she also leads all the murder drones back to the bunker. Her and En then team up to take out the other 2 murder drones, and when they successfully do that, they leave because her dad sold her out and sort of locked her out and left her to die, so she's upset, and they go to wander the wasteland forever and ever. And it does lead to her psychotic break at the end of the episode, and that's pretty much it. It is like 40 minutes long, and I did run through it within, a minute 30, so again, I definitely dumbed down the plot of the first episode. But again, it is only the pilot. I'm not talking through a full series. I still do recommend you go watch it for yourself, and that's why I didn't want to spoil too much. But this animation style is really clean. There is so much expression you can get out of these robots. I think like robots are very hard to do sometimes, especially with C-3PO, with the like Roger Roger battle droids from Star Wars. It's very hard to get emotions out of those because their face is so static. You can only really go off their voice, and even then their voice is still very robotic, so there isn't that much emotion you can go off, whereas here they have big mouths and they have the eyes which can sort of swap between love hearts and like winks and sort of text emojis, which I think is really cool and definitely is able to express a lot of emotion, so you can definitely connect to the characters a lot easier than what you could with for the likes of Star Wars or maybe a couple of other robots that you have seen in media. I'm trying to think of a couple right off the top of my head. I am just drawing a blank. However, you can still do emotion with those characters through their body language, but again, robots are quite stiff and hard to create body language. Whereas here, they're very flexible, they're very movable, they have like the expressions in their body language and also in their faces, and they're very good characters to back. They're very complex characters, very interesting characters. My favorite is Uzui, my second favorite is En, and I just like their character designs. The murder drones are very menacing, and they do feel like a threat until you meet them. When you meet En, like, all threat is gone. Like, I feel like all the threat disappears because he's just a goofy guy. He's just a silly little guy. He's just a little dude. He's not threatening. He's not scary. He's just an average Joe. And I feel like that takes away from the threat but moves more into the comedy of the show, which again, there is some really good comedic timing. There's some really good jokes going off in here. I was laughing. I was having a good time. And the kill with the cards was one of my favorites because it was just so funny. Like when he was sat there correcting her on what they said, talking about how cards work, and then he just gets absolutely sideswiped. That was so out of the blue and so funny to me. I genuinely expected him not to get killed, but it was like a comedy death and it worked so well. And it actually built up into the fear factor as he went on and onslaughted the rest of them. Again, it wasn't too comedy heavy. There was some serious moments which you could appreciate. So there was like a very nice balance between sort of, hey, look, 2 guys, 2 funny deaths, and then like some serious moments where like the dad abandons her. And you can sort of see how it affects her throughout the rest of the episode. There is some awesome like battle scenes as well where they're fighting and scrapping. I just think that's really cool, just like the action sequences and how good of a fighter Uzui is to say that she's been stuck in this bunker her entire life. Like having her be able to fight and stand her own against like 2 murder drones, whereas like everyone else got their asses handed to them, is absolutely incredible to me. Like she took down En. Although En regenerated, like, she still put up a pretty decent fight against him, and even though, like, he did survive and he did come back, he still she did still have a positive change on him and did fuck him up enough to cause this change and to cause his character development to start, which I do like and I do find very interesting. However, she was also cool enough to take out another one of the completely like straight dead, straight gone, straight like taken out, which I think is absolutely amazing. So we already have like a pretty strong main character, and it already sets up some mystery for the rest of the series, as we do see her slightly change and have this weird yellow glitch in her system, because her whole character is purple. That's her color scheme, and the murder drones are yellow. That's their entire color scheme, and we do see from her character towards the end, her sort of eyes glitch into this yellow color, and they do make this strange symbol, which does feel like she's slowly changing, and that will be a very important factor throughout the rest of the series. And it is very interesting to put that in episode 1. Maybe the rest of the show is her exploring her sort of new side and slowly changing her program, because again, they are robots, they are made by humans. So it's very interesting to see like her character arc change and where it's going to go. I have no predictions and I have no sort of idea where they can take it or where it's going to lead. Again, I haven't seen much on this show other than a little bit of fan art and a little bit of clips from TikTok, but I'm very excited to see where this leads. I'll be watching it all as soon as episode 8 comes out, and I will have a full season review for you when it is fully out later on this year. But other than that, I'm going to give this pilot a solid 10 out of 10. It is one of the really intriguing, exciting, out there concepts that we have seen from indie animation, and Glitch Productions is absolutely incredible. They smash it out the park every time, so I have really high hopes for this series, and I cannot stress or recommend enough that you go watch this show for yourself. Again, all like 7 episodes out of 8 are out, so it's not fully out yet, but I still recommend you go watch it for yourself. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all next one. I hope you all have an excellent day. And goodbye, stay home and stay safe. If you do want me to watch anything else, indie animation, film, anime, TV show, anything like that, I will. Just comment it down below and I'll get on it as soon as possible. You do know you don't have to stay right to the end, right?